Welcome, my name is Rich, and this shaky game is Star Wars: The Old Republic. What I'm doing with it is a laid-back Let's Play. Yeah, I should probably check to see whether there's a way to turn off camera shake, because I really don't like it. Graphics. I would have thought it was in graphics, but oh well, never mind. I'll try. Wow, that's a weird mount, isn't it? Try and find it later, rather than spend time during a stream looking at the options menu. During today's stream, other than looking at the options menu, I will be having a look at the... Wow, that's an interesting skin for Kaizen there. Big old sword and a robe. Okay. During the stream, I will be looking at the stories that the game is telling and engaging with them and talking about the philosophical and moral positions that the game puts me in and the decisions of the same that it asks me to make, and talking about places that I think the game may have drawn inspiration, or things that happen in the game that remind me of other things. I will also make jokes at the game's expense. So far in Old Republic, it's been mostly at the expense of the villains. The Sith tend to be pretty easy to make fun of because they're idiots. But also kind of questioning, we're inside of a space here with a limited-sized door that doesn't seem to have any other openings that you could get something in through, and yet there's a ship in here that's, half the size of the room. How did they get it in? How did they get it through the corridor and through the door? Or did they build it in here? What would be the point in building a ship inside a room that you can't get it out of? That kind of thing. As for right now, I have some objectives around here. I have that objective and this one. I'm not sure where this is taking me. Return to your hangar on Alderaan for the summit. I guess I could do that. I don't think that that's the entire story of Alderaan. It can't be, right? The entire story arc for your character. I mean, there's other stuff to do on Alderaan, and we're still part of the story by interacting with it, but the story arc specifically for our character seems as though it might be over if we're being asked to go back to our hangar. Maybe? I mean, I suppose it's worth doing just to make sure, but... Alderaan controlled by Exilium. Okie dokie. Ah, right, this is where I'm supposed to be. Releasing Thranta. that have been captured. Not sure why anyone would bother to capture a Thranta, but okay. Ah, right, I see. Can I only release the one from each camp, even though there's more than one? Ah, well, I mean, I suppose the reason that there's another one is so that, I suppose, because this is an open world quest, and so that players not in groups can complete this quest without competing overmuch for the resource that is the Thranta, so they can release it. I'm glad I can mount up whilst suffering periodic damage. I think you're prohibited from that in other games like Champions Online and World of Warcraft, although it's been a while since I've played either of them and I don't really remember. Right, this is the camp. Or, well, I seem to be sort of between two camps, but there's a Thranta here, and so I shall release it. And I'm not sure which camp it will count as. Okay, the northern one. That's a weird... weird feature of the landscape, isn't it? It's got some big old trees growing out, well, some roots growing out from through the rock. And there's some kind of light up there. That's not a holocron, is it? Or datacron? How would you even get up there? Doesn't seem super accessible. I'll have a go at getting up there, I suppose. Give it a shot. I love the way that characters interact with the geometry in this game. It's so janky and juddery. Oh, that tree is not fully interfacing with the ground. Okay, I don't think that I can get up that way. But I might be able to get around if I go around. Let's give that a try. Surprised that a Sith sorcerer is having a go at the Ulgo side. They're supposed to be aligned with the Empire. The Ulgos. I mean, of course, the Sith are supposed to be aligned with the Sith Empire. I mean, it's pretty elementary stuff. So... Definitely something up there casting light. Maybe I could approach from this direction. It's a shame I can't go up here. Oh, I mean, I imagine I can't. Oh, there we go. No, I don't think that's accessible. There's definitely something up there, though. I don't know whether Datacrons actually cast that much light, though. Can't get up this way, can I? No, these are too steep. If this were a different game engine, I'd just be able to vibrate my way up the slopes, regardless of how steep they were. Like if this were an Elder Scrolls game. No. Oh well, whatever. That's enough of that. We have Thranta to free. Or release. Oh, I'm glad that taking periodic damage also doesn't interrupt interactions, because otherwise that would be really annoying. Other games do that. Hey, welcome, Shaman Boy. Don't believe that was a Datacron. Oh, okay, fair enough. It looks like it's supposed to be accessible. It looks like it's supposed to be a little jutting bit of rock that you can stand on. But I have no idea how you get up to it without the benefit of flight or super jumping. I wonder why he shot up in the air instead of going backwards. Is it because he was immobilized? If it is, there should be an unmarked Thranta somewhere near it, vaguely near it. So there is a Datacron around here somewhere, but it's near a Thranta, apparently. I mean, there are Thranta around here, but they're captured Thranta. They're stationary. I haven't really been looking for Datacrons, to be honest. And I don't remember how much light they give off, but there's definitely something up there, and I... Is it just supposed to be a mystery? Or are you supposed to be able to get up there somehow? It is high and you need a Thranta to access it. That's why I remember from when I what I remember from when I did the Alderaan Datacron. Is there only one on Alderaan? No, that's been captured. Oh well, never mind. There's two, but the other one is way different. Oh, okay. I mean, I haven't been exhaustively looking for Datacrons on stream, mainly because the jumping puzzles are frustrating and time-consuming, and I don't enjoy engaging with the jumping puzzles in the game, to be honest, and I don't imagine that watching me do that is entertaining, or at least it's not the kind of entertainment I want to be putting out. Is this... This doesn't seem like it's an intentional door. This seems like... well, no, hold on. There are steps. It's like they built a wall. Oh, no, I suppose that is doorway shaped, isn't it? It's just, it's been damaged down here. Okay, so maybe this is a door. It's not really showing evidence of being a door on the inside, though. That's definitely a bit weird. Yeah, so I don't know where every Datacron is. I don't know how to get to every Datacron. If I were doing this off stream, I would just look up a video of someone else finding Datacrons and follow what they do. The Datacron stat boost is also negligible, so not worth it for that either. Oh, okay, fair enough. Do you get any kind of achievement for getting them all? At least? Just bounce him up in the air. In you go, Kaizen. You get her first. One of them gives you a title called Incredible Smell Discoverer, which I quite like. Oh, nice. There's a lot of achievements for the Datacrons, some titles as well. Okay, so they actually do something in the game that isn't just negligible stat boosts. What are these dancing drones for? Are they like healing for the droid? Do you get the Incredible Smell Discoverer from a holocron, or Datacron rather, that's on board some kind of Imperial vessel, by any chance? Ouch. That looks like it's deeply uncomfortable. Nope, it's from a planet Datacron. Is it somewhere smelly, at least? Cut that out. like a refuse pit or something. I do like exploration, so I will be going around and finding datacrons in my own time. Even despite you telling me that they're almost worthless. It's just specifically jumping puzzles, particularly in a game like this where the jumping mechanics are not great to begin with, are not my favourite thing. It's on a tropical paradise island inhabited by sentient birds and pirates, so I would assume that the place has a very recognisable scent. Fair enough. His armour and his face, I mean, I've said this before, but the face and the armour with the collar just looks like they're supposed to be a vampire, which is amusing to me. I mean, I know that Siths can have powers like that anyway, so it's thematic at least. Been thinking about this for a while, but some of the art for the power icons, particularly this one, Weaken Mind, looks a lot like, or reminds me a lot of art by, I'm probably going to mispronounce this, but Władysław Beksinski, who is known as the Nightmare Artist, who does artwork of quite disturbing, often humanoid-looking art. There's only a couple of jumpy datacrons. You'll probably enjoy finding most of them. Cool. Yeah, there was one on Coruscant that was very much a jumping puzzle datacron. That was frustrating. There aren't many jumping puzzles in the game, are there? Coruscant, Ossus, Mixar, and Alderaan are all quite jumpy, the datacrons on those planets. But other than datacrons, there is one single jump puzzle in the entire story. Nice. The game's strength is definitely not in jumping puzzles. And the fact that they barely use them elsewhere makes it puzzling to me that they wouldn't include any kind of super jump travel mode, or I mean, maybe it's just the fact that they don't want people getting up onto the scenery where they're not supposed to be. But like, there are lots of places where using force jump or a jetpack would be really useful, and it's definitely something that is in the lore, so it feels a little bit weird that they don't include it at all. I mean, they've got force sprint, even if it is only for the bare minimum amount of time duration to actually be any use. SWTOR's world borders and solids are terrible as it is. People could use cause untold chaos with force jump. Yeah, but that's a reason to include it. But yeah, definitely feel that characters interacting with geometry is a bit janky. 'You can get outside of most world barriers with the current movesets as well. Just takes a bit more effort to vibrate, jump spam your way up a cliff. Ooh, who's this? Sith Lord Aral Anak. Okay. Let's go, Kaizen. Turn to mission terminal. But we're not required to defeat the Sith Lord by the story. That's a bit of an oversight. I'm going to do it anyway. Tholcorp consulate shirt. Okay. Yeah. Pretty dull, really. I wonder why it's got... Are those from the belt, or are they part of the robe? Because it would be a bit weird if the robe just had a couple of pouches just hanging out on the back of it for no reason. Okay. Now, I could fight my way back out again around this big twisty business, or I could just ask for a shuttle, which are very convenient and lovely. I like to imagine that the shuttle driver is just the absolute best pilot in the galaxy, and they enjoy the challenge of flying into whatever weird nook or cranny you've managed to work yourself, just for the sake of coming and getting you out. And I think it's for free. Like, you don't get charged for it, do you? So the shuttle driver or pilot is just for the pilot is the single most competent NPC in the game. Yeah. And they don't even do it for pay. They do it for the challenge, for the enjoyment of flying challenging routes to strange places that they've never been before. Forget it. I'm basically the greatest fixer in the universe. Lose the attitude first. I really enjoy when people give their protocol droids different attitude programming. I quite like protocol droid like standard behavior that was obviously modeled on C-3PO, but I do like spicy droids as well. Fair enough. We need to come up here first, but we will make our way over here. I do like it when there are little conversations like that you can just happen by and overhear in the outside world. Not very many. In fact, I can't think of any other games I've played that do that, and it just goes to help the world feel like there are actual people living in it, not just NPCs. Makes it feel more real. This isn't the right place. Glad I checked. Wait. Would I have needed to... Or is it over here that I get up? I'm relying quite a lot on the yellow lines. Oh yeah, there we go. That's connected. It's just it's not visible on the the large map. Yeah, no. It is visible here, but not... Smuggler face, okay. But not... on the main map that people would probably use for things like navigation. So that's helpful. Forgotten what we're doing. Tower defense. Destroy mainframe. Destroy backup server. Sabotage weather tower. Ah, yes, that's right. This is a weather tower that Thule have reconfigured to turn into a spying tool. And we are shutting it down so they can't continue to use it. Oops. Get off the lift. There we go. Do you reckon when the Imperial forces took over, they changed all the light bulbs so that it was red instead of blue? Or white? Although, this is already pretty Imperial, isn't it? I mean, you see lights like this, or grills over lights like this in the Death Star. Does that imply... I mean, this is... Okay, so this is an Alderaan facility. Centuries or millennia before the Death Star is built. Does that imply that the Death Star, one of at least... one of the architects or designers of the Death Star was an Alderaanian who was a fan of old Alderaan architecture or design styles and wanted to include them in the Death Star? Ah yes, the standard elevator shaft to fall to your death in. Yep. Safety rails are for losers. In Star Wars. There's also lots of tripping hazards. Ah, up. Right. Surprised there are no guards. I didn't do anything to the screen, but it seems to have been shattered up there. Okay. Oh, it's welcome, Marhawkman, by the way. Apologise for forgetting. Well, who's to say that the aesthetics used by the Empire are actually new? Maybe they just used the same styles from the Old Republic. Just like to imagine that a grimdark, cold design is the default for industrial design in the Star Wars galaxy. Yeah, could be that. But this is such a specific set of shapes. I mean, it's not... I haven't watched the original Star Wars films for ages, so I don't remember exactly what the lighting grills looked like in that. But it's very similar. Oh yeah, sure, we'll just leave... that's electricity open to coruscate like this. I mean, nobody's going to go up there and get close enough to it to get shocked or anything, are they? We need to see it to make sure that it's working. We're not going to put like conductive conduits between the two of them. No, that would increase efficiency too much. We're just going to let this power transfer through the atmosphere, because, you know, air is a well-known excellent conductor of electricity. I mean, you just need to look at lightning to know that air can conduct electricity. And so because it can, we'll just rely on it to conduct with no issues. Specific, but it has no meaning in universe, just a light fixture. Yeah, the triangular stuff and red lights are very imperial, I don't know. It would increase efficiency, but decrease shock and awe, so it's whatever. Yeah, in an industrial complex like this, that exists only to serve a function, a very utilitarian space, it's very important to have a very impressive aesthetic energy transfer conduit to monitor energy transfer. Yeah. Oh, and they've got bunks in here with weapons racks on the ends of... Are those weapons? Yeah, those are weapons. Weapons racks on the end of the bunk. Phasing through part of the bunk. Phasing through the blanket that's on the bed. Ha! Someone developed a method to count lightning bolts by listening to the radio waves they give off, so I imagine that lightning bolt-like power transfer thingy would create an EM emissions radius much the same. Oh, interesting. We've got some cantilevered bunks here. I'm sure that's safe. I've complained about this before. It just looks like I wouldn't trust this not to collapse. So I would always... Well, I mean, given the option, I wouldn't sleep on either of them, but I would choose the upper one, because then it wouldn't run the risk of collapsing on my legs. If it did collapse, you'd just slide off it, I guess. Nice. was about to start complaining that despite there being places to sleep and places to work, there aren't any places to do your business, as it were. But there are doors which I suppose could conceivably conceal toilets and other bathroom facilities. You're just chilling out with your lightsaber out. Put that away, would you? Loony. Oops. Okay, yeah, we've already been in there, haven't we? It's at times like this that stealth characters are real great. Oh hey, nice timing. I wonder what all these are for. Why would you need 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 by 7? Oh shit, what's that? 49 buttons on a pad on a lift that just has 2 positions. It's like, those can't be for calling or sending the lift to a different floor, because there's only 2 floors. Ah, useless lore knowledge. Toilets, showers and baths are a single thing in the Star Wars universe. It's called a refresher. Usually the size of a very small room. On poorer planets, they are often communal. So, kind of the size of toilets on public transport, like airplanes or trains. Or else some elevators have an intercom panel. Yeah, I suppose. I suppose it could also be a means of controlling, like, lights around the facility. So you get on the lift and then start turning on the lights down below as the lift takes you down, so that you don't have to, like, wander around through the dark or get to a light switch that's down there somewhere. Like, I suppose that's a convenient place to put light switches. So that's that dealt with. And we come over here. Can I jump down? Probably. Well, that wasn't jumping, but I managed to skitter my way down. Yeah, well, we'll be going past the hand in place just to get down and over towards the next quest objective, so may as well hand in on the way past. Might as well send him on a trash run. Oops. Stay still. Whilst I'm doing things that don't involve combat. You're welcome. Credits do slowly rack up, don't they? A refresher is seen on the Mandalorian ship. It's basically a cabinet just large enough for one person to sit in. I mean, on ships, on a lot of ships in the Star Wars universe that are basically the size of a bus, space is absolutely at a premium, and including all of that, collapsing all of that down into as little space as possible makes sense. Is a little bit odd that they're so ubiquitous even on planets like this that are, you know, not just bustling metropolises all over, like Coruscant. I mean, on Coruscant it makes sense that certainly lower position people have refreshers that are cabinets or closets, but I'd assume a luxury refresher is quite a bit larger. Yeah, probably. That's where I was going with this. That I'd expect that upper spire people on Coruscant would have access to larger refreshers, or like rooms that we would recognize as being bathrooms, and probably on like luxury ships, certainly for the guests. But yeah, like ships like the Millennium Falcon or the Mandalorian ship. There's something Talon, I think, maybe. It absolutely makes sense that they'd be using technology that miniaturizes the space requirements, or minimizes the space requirements. Cool. And that's some bomb codes. Good-o. Moff Tarkin had a multi-person refresher where he had relations with a male stormtrooper. That's canon, by the way. It's in one of the newer books. Oh, wow. Okay. Wild. That's real weird. I wonder why they didn't get hit. They were definitely inside the area of effect. I wonder whether it's canon in Star Wars that Grand Moff Tarkin only wears slippers, because there's a thing about Peter Cushing, who played Grand Moff Tarkin. I like the idea of it being something that can be collapsed into the wall when not in use. Is that blue glow a plasma burn or something? Looked like you were on fire. I thought that it was cryo, but it definitely looked deeply uncomfortable. Yeah, so Peter Cushing would only ever act whilst wearing comfortable slippers. And so they would always film him in such a way that they were not visible. So basically like from the waist up or from the knees up or whatever. Or with him behind something. So whenever you see Grand Moff Tarkin in the original Star Wars films, he's always there on set in his slippers. The boots thing was because the costumers didn't have the right size for Cushing. The only boots they had for his costume were too small. I'm sure that I remember hearing that he would on QI, in fact, so a show that's all about interesting, weird facts. So it's not just the fact that they didn't have shoes his size. It's that, I mean, I can try and look it up. I'm pretty certain that it's a fact. Let's see. Okay, the only mentions of him wearing carpet slippers whilst acting were as Grand Moff Tarkin, so maybe... It's definitely true that he didn't wear boots for at least most of his acting, though. Okay, well, it seems like... well, I searched Peter Cushing slippers, and all of the results are talking about him playing Grand Moff Tarkin and the boots being uncomfortable. But I'm sure... Maybe it wasn't Peter Cushing. Maybe it was someone else. I'm sure I remember a little factoid being related on a TV show that he didn't wear proper footwear for any of his acting and was always in carpet slippers. But maybe I'm conflating that and getting it wrong. That does happen. I'd probably need to rewatch the bit of QI where it gets mentioned, but I have no idea which episode that would be. And there's quite a lot of QI now. Although it was a Stephen Fry one, so that cuts down the range somewhat. Oh, finally. The 11th code. Yeah. Yeah, so he definitely was in slippers during Star Wars because the boots were deeply uncomfortable. So what I said about him being in slippers for for acting the part of Grand Moff Tarkin is definitely true. The slippers he wore are even on display. That was one of the things that one of the search results was saying. One of these was a companion gift. There we go. But whether or not he was in slippers when he was playing, like, Sherlock Holmes or Van Helsing or any of his characters in the Hammer horror stories, I don't know. Maybe. It'd be fun to imagine that he was. Oh no. She's got eyeshadow of evil. She's going to turn out to be an evil character, do you reckon? It's not quite the smoky eyeshadow of evil, but it is quite heavy eyeshadow. So that's automatic suspicion from me. Ah, breaking in. I'm good at that. Auric isn't man enough, huh? Oof. If reports are pouring in, it's not much of a surprise attack anymore, is it? I've killed an awful lot of dudes for someone who will trot out a line like, all life is important to a Jedi. I know there's no objective back here. I'm just curious about what is actually in here. Interesting. Very important that we have a ramp up to this desk, which is currently not occupied by anybody. Very important to have a big wide desk like this so that you've got lots of room for your elbows. Oh, hey, there's a thing to interact with. Great. That person's all floaty. Oh, fuck Christ. There's an objective back here. Glad I noticed. There we go. Yep, I can do that. Meaning me. I chose the middle option I did before because I feel like at this point giving out platitudes of being peaceful and calm, not killing, for my character is pretty hypocritical. But the middle option, the line that actually got given, was a bit more confrontational than I would have wanted, really. But oh well. I don't know about him not giving up the throne whilst he's alive, but I can definitely pull him out of the throne room and his building by his hair if necessary. And he can continue to claim to be the ruler of Alderaan even whilst he's in a jail cell or on trial. That's a bit more of a jump than I was thinking it was going to be. Ah, right. Paran the Needle Sin. Apparently. That's probably fine. I survived at least. I probably need to get back up onto here, don't I? Haha, splendid. That worked. Wonder who they're fighting. Thul. Ulgo. Seems to be some conflict between the Thul and the Ulgo. Thought they were on the same side. Although maybe by the time that your character gets to this point, the relations between them will have dimmed. That turret wasn't doing as much damage as I was expecting it to. Looks like it's a pretty big, serious piece of business, but... I mean, I imagine that if it was doing as much damage as it looks like it should, it would be very unpleasant to try and fight your way past. So it's nice that it wasn't, I suppose. Ouch. Surprise! It is a little bit ridiculous that my character can run around so freely in such close proximity to the what is essentially the home of the leader of the opposition. But this is following video game logic. Oops. There we go. Where are all the commanders? There's one. One last one after. Might as well go this one. There's two over here. Would you want to bet that the throne room is on the ground floor? And not very deep into the building itself. I'll go Royal Shield. Let's see how good you are, shall we? I wonder where they were hiding. I suppose they were on top of these statues. Cloaked. Waiting for an excuse to jump down. I wonder what... Hasn't it been years, decades since Ulgo took over from... Was it Plantier? I wonder why this place is so badly damaged and like... Well, not damaged, but... Well, yeah, I mean, that's damage, isn't it? I wonder why this place is messed up. You'd think that they'd have repaired it in the time since. Yeah, really, there's a pile of rubble on the floor. Yeah, and like scorch marks, stone plinths are well, not knocked over, but like, oh well, that's knocked over. Big chunk of that marble column's out, but like, this is off kilter, this is falling over. What's this? A lore entry thing. Cool. Okay. So there's a lift down, I think, to an archive here. Oh, hello. Can you get a... Yeah, that's a companion. Cool. You can get a big old M14X combat droid as a companion. That one thing looks like the railing of the second floor balcony. I'll have a look when I get back up. Oh, right, yeah. Finding the assassination holo recording would be very useful, wouldn't it? For the purposes of... Who's launching the rockets? I was just looking up here because these look like they've fallen from... Oh no, hold on. I suppose that the damage... This could be the damage that this is. But like most of the ceiling up here doesn't look like it's that badly damaged. So I was just wondering where these chunks of reinforced masonry had come from. I suppose they could have been pushed out of the way from somewhere else. Where did they come from? There aren't any vents in the ceiling. Were they, like, on the rappel cord, hooked up to the mouldings up there, and stealthed? It's like invisible, hanging out on a harness, like a wire lift harness from films or theatre or rock climbing. Just like strapped in, pulled all the way up to the ceiling, hanging out kind of like the ceiling's here, pressed up against the wall, just hanging there from some mechanical hooks with a stealth field on, waiting for someone to come by, hoping that there'd be a point to them being pressed up against the ceiling to come down and surprise an attacker, a potential attacker. That they don't even know is necessarily data damaged beyond recovery. That's a shame. I wonder how many of these I'm going to need to check. Do you suppose there's one that is the specific one that I need to check? Or is it going to be after a certain number have been checked? It's lucky I can reach that databank. Oh, I've got some kind of taser looking device. That looks like a green taser. Or an EKG meter from Ghostbusters. Why is it I'm checking all of these damaged looking ones instead of the normal looking ones? Is it any surprise that they're all damaged beyond recovery? Starfleet tricorder? I mean, a bit. But it's got that electricity there. More than anything, it's a taser. Or it looks like a taser. But it's the arms off it that make me think of the... Wait, think they're resetting due to time? Yeah, this one has. It must be after a certain number. Oh, there we go. Downloaded. At last. Yeah, more than anything, it was the arms that made me think of an EKG meter from Ghostbusters. Because tricorders don't have arms, or at least the ones from TNG don't. And TNG is the Star Trek that I'm most familiar with. Okay, and so, yes, I thought we'd need to go further in to look for more recording. Oh wow, we're going down quite far, aren't we? So it's going to be one of those situations where I can make a choice, Supreme Commander Niall, between the truth that there doesn't appear to be any connection between Ulgo and Rist and fabricating a connection between them. Oh, he's got another silly hat. Or another guy with a silly hat. Ouchies. That almost went quite poorly. Another silly hat attached to a person. Yep. It's the same hat as the, wow, ouch. The house of the people down here. I thought maybe it was specific to them, but apparently not. I can't remember the name of the house that we helped whilst we were in the Alsatian lowlands. Alsatian. Basically, it looks like a piece of pipe that's been slid on and had a face section cut out of it. Oh, good. So it was household go. Glad it's not asking me to make any ethical choices about expediting the removal of a tyrant versus staying true to the truth or remaining. What would be a better way of putting that? Maintaining the legitimacy of the truth or the sanctity of the truth? So there was a section around here that looked like the railing for the second floor, apparently. I don't know, it doesn't look like there's any section of the railing up there that's missing. This? I don't think that that's part of the railing. Oh, is my buff worn off already? Back closer to the entrance. Oh, okay. I'll check it as I go out, provided I remember and don't just shuttle out. This isn't much of a throne room anymore, is it? It's got leaks. I wonder why this would happen to the ceiling. It's like the ceiling is flat and then some sections of boulder have been stuck to the ceiling. It doesn't really look like it's rubble because the ceiling has been damaged and is caving down and inwards, does it? And this is definitely damaged, isn't it? I wonder what would cause damage like this. It's like the kind of damage that you get during quakes, like earthquakes. It doesn't look like the kind of damage you get from weapons fire. Was the palace shelled from artillery that's caused all of this like fracturing damage? Why would you keep your throne room in this state? Why wouldn't you have it repaired? This can't be recent, can it? Is that a glass ceiling from the underside of a lake? It might be a glass ceiling, but I think it's frosted. We're definitely not under a lake, because when we were outside looking up at the building, it was open to the sky. There's, if that is a lake above the ceiling, repair costs just to keep it from collapsing would be enormous. True, but I don't think that it is. You can't really see anything out there, I suppose, but I don't think that it is a lake or even a body of water for some reason. I think it's just thick glass that's being rained on. I don't know where this water is coming from. I don't know why water would be on top of the building. I fought my way in here through all of the guards, and no one's interested in getting in my way at all. If it's not, then where's all that water coming from? That's hundreds of gallons. Yeah, the water is a mystery to me. Hello, chap. I'm not after your seat. To bring you to justice. Kings should not be above the law. And if they depose the previous rulers through murder, then they should face justice. No, I don't happen to believe in the divine right of kings. How could you tell? I suppose there could be a decorative reservoir, or like, you know, a decorative reservoir up above the throne room full of fish or something. But when we were entering, the palace was definitely open to the sky. You'll need heavy ordnance to destroy this. What? Oh, here we are. Apparently chucking a lightsaber at whatever this is isn't heavy ordnance enough. Enough, okay. Oh, there's more here. Don't need to use that right now. Okay. Ooh. That's a big rocket launcher. And a slow-moving rocket. Rockets are usually faster than that, aren't they? Single shot weapon, obviously. Can't do that while in combat. And they notice me before I... or as soon as I get within range. Which is a little annoying. Not allowed to pull out a big rocket launcher whilst I'm in combat. It's a little bit arbitrary, isn't it? And I got two beamy things supporting your force field now. Why don't you play it sensible and see the way that the wind's blowing, eh? What if I can get close enough to launch? I can! Splendid. Haha! Oh, I probably shouldn't have started this fight early, though. Because as soon as you destroy this, some forces spawn in to attack you. So it probably would be smarter, given how fragile my character is, to take out the guards in front first, then launch the missile, then fight the guards that show up afterwards to be mad at you. Oh hey, loot that I didn't notice. It's definitely a very slow-moving rocket. But then all the rockets in this are very slow-moving, so I suppose it's not really inconsistent, just odd, because IRL rockets move way quicker than that. He's not even a super elite. He's just an elite. Or I don't remember what the silver and gold level is. Is that why you've been working with the Empire to defend your throne? What did you think was going to happen after you'd successfully crushed all your opposition? Did you think the Empire was going to leave? The mini-boss seems harder to defeat. Yeah. Yeah, the dude downstairs was tougher than the king. Although he was a military commander, so maybe he was supposed to be. The king seems to have been like leader of some military business in the past, but like at some distant point in the, well, not distant, but like some decades ago maybe. Could just be that your character does a lot of AoE damage. Yeah, she's got a few AoE attacks, doesn't she? Not that many though. Single tough enemy thus becomes a lot more of a danger. Again, missed out on a bunch of dialogue there. Didn't quite catch it all. Oops. Nuts, hit the wrong button. My character's only got 2 AoE attacks. Well, 3. Force Wave is technically AoE, but it's player-based rather than targeted or ranged, so it's not like it's that easy to use. I've got Telekinetic Wave and Force Quake, which are AoE, but all the rest of my abilities are single target. It's just that Kaizen wasn't set to tank mode, so he wasn't using tanky threat management. Oh yeah, that looks like a bit of banister, doesn't it? There isn't anywhere down here that this would have come from. I'm surprised it's still in one piece, or as solid a piece as this is, because you would think that a fall like that would break the stone. Oops. Yeah, I think I was just struggling against that mini-boss down in the archives because I was generating too much threat and Kaizen wasn't generating enough to keep his attention off of me. So that ended up with me taking a lot more damage. I don't know, these assholes have the rockety things that knock you off your mount. That's always annoying. Surprised I'm not handing in to her. Kate. Pantia. Every time someone says, or I see the word Pantia, I just think of Pantera for some reason. Splendid. Now I just need to return to my hangar. And if this ends the story arc for consular story on here, I guess I'll just hang around and explore the rest of the planet. Doing the quests that I find along the way. Oh yeah, I can mount up, can't I? I'm kind of hoping that that isn't it. Because that would be a weirdly short, quick story for so much space on the planet. And you've got a mercenary as your commander of guard. Why am I taking off? Apparently that is it. That's weird. We'll just pretend that this isn't something that my character does at all. Like, have their ship take off and leave planet. Well, leave Atmo. I might well still be in orbit. Yeah, we're in orbit. Quite a long way from orbit as well, actually. Well, quite a long way from the planet. That's what I meant. Right. Nice, I thought he'd have something to say to me. Just, I'm not really doing much, am I? I'm just prodding him to do science. Oh well, that's fine. Yep, I'm dead good, me. Trust in the Force and bring to bear enormous violence. I wonder why Kaizen's weapon has changed to this double-ended mace thing. He's on swords. Oh, okay, she was the last. Cool. What if we taunt him? I'll have that. Come here, Vivicar, or I shall taunt you a second time. Could have sworn my lightsaber had a crystal in it. Oh, that's got a crystal in it. Oh. Alright, never mind then. Oh, that's already been locking augment kit perk purchase. Okay, never mind. I'm confusing myself there. I'll leave it alone. But now I'm back on a green lightsaber. And we're going to re-land on Alderaan to finish up. I know that I could leave and continue with the class story, but I want to do everything that I can on Alderaan. Rather than just leave it. Or come back later, I guess. I'm sure I'll find more things to do as I wander around. And if nothing else, I can fully explore the place. Let's come down over here. Oh, doesn't work here. Okay. I actually need to leave. The one place that the shuttle is not able to get is inside the spaceport. You can get anywhere else, deep underground, top of a spire, anything you like, just not inside the spaceport. I suppose there's some kind of massive rivalry between the shuttle pilots and the spaceport pilots. And if the shuttle turns up inside the spaceport anywhere, it'll kick off a massive conflict. The shuttle can deliver someone to just outside the because that's the shuttle bit. That's the node that it would take you to. So the shuttle can deliver you to outside the spaceport, but it can't get inside to pick you up. Not allowed. Oh good, there are missions. Okay. Oh hey. Right, yes, I've got post, haven't I? Duke Charles Organa. Kekana Hero, or Herot. I feel I owe you an apology. My men have reclaimed the Ulgo Pain Factory facility and reported back on their findings. What horrors you must have witnessed. I am shocked at how far our brothers in House Ulgo have fallen, although I have no right to be, given the brutality in my own house. I am reassigning Science Commander Kekana Herot. Her insistence that we preserve as much as we could from the Ulgo facility shows that she is not fit for her post. Please know that she does not represent the wishes of House Organa, and accept my thanks again for dismantling that evil place. Duke Charles Remot Organa. I'm not sure whether I'm supposed to be pronouncing these like slightly French or phonetically. Major Crescent, in thanks. You already have the gratitude of my house for your assistance against House Ulgo, but I feel I must thank you again for your rescuing my daughter from those wrist thugs. I don't know what I would have done if anything had happened to her. Andra's heart was in the right place, I suppose, but war is no place for a young lady. I have sent my daughter back to the Apalis coast, where the fighting has mostly subsided. She sends me scathing comm messages, but I know she will forgive me someday. After all my family has given to this war, well, I have earned the right to be a little selfish, I think. Respectfully yours, Major Corliss Brando Crescent. Cool. What did I get from those two? Class 6 lockbox full of credits. So 500 credits, 600 credits. Nice. Not the most credits I've gotten as a reward. And it's a bit weird that they're being put inside lockboxes instead of just attached as credits to the message, but okay. She's sounding quite French. I'm obviously not. She's not speaking French, but the language that she's speaking sounds adjacent to French. It sounds like they're putting a French twist on it. I'm nobody's assistant. That's not true. I'm assisting everybody. I'm everyone's assistant. Oh. I've done this before, except with a joiner rather than the Killick itself. She's definitely some of you may die, but that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make, isn't she? What a sociopath. I'm amazed that Killiks can't build bridges. Ants can build bridges. And they're smarter than ants. I don't know why they need to bother with tunneling. That's way more work. Is there a bridge around here somewhere? No. This is just a big pool that's not even... This seems like a lower point geologically than this, so I don't know why there's a lake here. Or, well... Is it a lake? Can't really tell. Yeah, I think this is a lake. And the fact that it's... Why have they got their eggs out here? Makes no sense. Did he say river? This isn't a river. This isn't remotely a river. What kind of nonsense is this? Is my lightsaber making a different sound? Sounds like it is, yeah. Yeah, that's a different sound. Oh, I don't have a target. Change blade color to green. That was me. I put crystal in it that changed it to green. Well, I got a new lightsaber as a reward. This is the one that I had been using up until now. And I got this when I completed the story arc for the planet. Whoops, that's not what I meant to do. And I pulled a green lightsaber crystal out of this one, which was my first lightsaber, and put it in here. So I don't know what color it would have been without. I mean, I guess let's find out, shall we? It's pretty cheap to remove. Yellow. Okay, so it would have been yellow. Or perhaps sort of orangey colour. But putting that in changes it to green, because that's the colour I put it colour of crystal I put in. The crew skill I've been considering taking, or the crew skills I'm considering taking, would be the crystal crafting skill, so that I could make different coloured crystals for my lightsabers and other weapons for other characters. So new blade colour, new humming noise. I don't think they're related. I think it's to do with the lightsaber hilt itself, not the crystal, because the first lightsaber I had didn't make this noise, and it had this crystal in it. taking a lot of damage, aren't I? Would you cut that out, please? Almost sounds like a kind of generic sci-fi shuttlecraft engine, doesn't it? Rather than a lightsaber. I'm going completely the wrong direction, aren't I? I should be going this way. Okay, oh, that'll last for 45 minutes, so that's cool. I should probably take him back now just to make sure that he doesn't accidentally die, shouldn't I? She shot it inside this cabinet. What a weird, unpleasant quest. Oh, hold on. Was it this river that they were talking about? That would make way more sense. Yeah, it must be that river. He wasn't referring to this as a river. Okay. I feel a bit stupid now, but I probably look quite stupid for it, making that mistake as well. Oh well. Is that a skeleton? What massive beast has ribs 30 feet long? Yep, skeleton. I don't know. There are rib cages this size on Tatooine, which are presumably crate dragon ribs, but I have got no idea what on Alderaan would have ribs this size. Maybe someone shipped a crate dragon here from Tatooine? No, that would be such a prohibitively difficult task. I don't think anyone would take that on. No one would be stupid enough to try and capture a crate dragon alive to ship it. Maybe they could have found an egg or a young one, brought it here, and then it grew up, escaped captivity, and then eventually died. I feel I need to point to Han Solo and that tentacle nightmare. Yes. That was pretty well. There's another one. So I have to assume that whatever it was native to... Oh, there's more. Definitely a native creature. Well, not necessarily, but I would imagine that capturing examples of a species this big and shipping them all here, well, that's a very bird-like skull, isn't it? Would have been, as I said, prohibitively expensive. What did I... Has that attracted any belligerent assholes? No, okay. Hop in, Kaizen. Get started. We saw some sort of large flying creature. Maybe it's a larger version of that. Well, the Thantas are big, but I think that they, because they're flying, have a maximum size. I think these are terrestrial creatures. Because in a world... Well, I was going to say in a world without magic, but then again, this is a world with the Force. So perhaps a creature like this could get airborne if it were using the Force to supplement its flying ability, but there isn't really anything other than its weird long bill-like structure on its skull that suggests it is an aerial creature. And the Thantas had evolved away any kind of limbs other than wings. So if this is related to a Thanta, it's very distantly related. Nope. His voice changed halfway through, like it went up by a half an octave or something. In you go, Kaizen. This should be fairly easy because there's no gold, no elite level chaps here. There are other people here fighting. Jedi Sentinel. Wow. Oof. That was a lot of damage. Oh yeah, we've only seen the head, ribs and spine. What does the rest look like? Hard to guess what it looked like without that. Yeah. I wonder why they were hitting so hard. I suppose it was the strong ones rather than the elites that were doing so much damage. Super weird. Not sure how I managed to free another one, but okay, I'm not going to argue with it. $35 dudes to kill though, that's a lot. I mean, I'm like slightly less than halfway there, but still. It's more than most tasks I've had on recent planets. Well, so far really. Last of the captives. They're welcome. Ooh, nice. Both of those are upgrades. That's a lot of dead bodies. Only just noticing. There we go. Oh, Kaizen almost got taken down there, eh? I'm hoping there are some more of those burrows to collapse around here, because otherwise I'll need to head back this way and find some. But that wouldn't be the end of the world. Oh, that's a patrol. Let's hope that we don't accidentally pull it. He's definitely going Kaizen's way. Yeah. Inconvenient patrol route. A purple loot. Yep, I've been getting them since Tatooine, and it's to do with an event their currency for a casino that I haven't investigated at all. Where are we? Currency. Emperor's Casino chips. That's all the purple loot I've been getting. I'm not sure what 23 of them would even buy me. Probably not much. Oh, hey. There's a burrow. Weird that young Killick larvae turn into humanoid Killick, isn't it? They're almost completely the wrong shape. There's probably something in that cave up here. Here. But I can't be bothered getting close enough to investigate, and it doesn't seem as though it's an objective, so I'll leave it alone. I have to find my way out, and I'm... Maybe an objective for a quest you don't have yet? Could be, but this is a heroic area, and there's already 2 heroic quests in one heroic area, which is unusual, so I don't know whether that's very likely. I'm kind of worried about this patrol here. Maybe I should just pull him. Come here, asshole. Oh, nuts. Well, we just about managed that, didn't we? That is a lot of skeletons. A lot of skeletons. It is. I mean, I noticed a lot over here, but there's even more, eh? Odds are they were eaten alive. Or, well, they started out being eaten alive by the Killick. I don't imagine that they stayed alive the whole time. That's a lot of blaster fire, isn't it? Gunslinger. Really not fond of the squelching noises this is making. It's pretty horrible. I hope it's mud, but I don't think it is. Or, I don't think it's only mud. Looking for a Killick burrow I can blow up. I suppose that used to be a burrow before someone else got to it. Oh, there we go. There's one. Splendid. In you go, Kaizen. I've got another patrol here. Fucking knobheads. Go away. Oh, I had to stay in place. I was just looking at the animation, not the little loading bar. I was like, well, I've thrown the grenade. That means job's done. I can walk away. Apparently not. Apparently, to complete the task, I need to stand there and watch the thing go off. Because that's how grenades work. Oh, those auto-completed. I didn't need to hand them in anywhere. Cool. Well, onwards to the next camp, I guess. These are obviously, yeah, a radiated plant. There we go. These are obviously something that someone gets to interact with. I don't know whether we will or not. They're obviously a quest objective, aren't they? I don't know whether you spray them down with something, pick them, scan them. Ah, Ulgo footpaths. We're in Ulgo territory, apparently. Not sure. This doesn't have any bit leading off. Oh no, hold on. The main map does though. Okie dokie. This is an odd sort of geography that feels very video gamey. Yeah. Ooh, quests. Yeah, it doesn't feel like this geography was shaped by natural forces at all. Because you get valleys because they get worn out of mountains by moving water or glaciers, but then you wouldn't get like this rock here, would you? It doesn't seem volcanic, or at least it can't be volcanic at any point in the recent past. I assume that Alderaan has plate tectonics. I would also assume that Tatooine has plate tectonics, but you never see volcanoes on Tatooine, do you? These aren't mountains, they're piles of giant boulders. Feels artificial, yeah. 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 I assume that they've got, like... Oops. A selection of rock shapes that they've just kind of piled up around the edges to make it not just be slopes. But it doesn't look like it's weathered or like how would the rock form into this shape? What kind of stone is it? Is it igneous? It looks like granite. Doesn't seem like it's layered like sedimentary, and it's the wrong color and texture for metamorphic, so I have to assume igneous of some kind. But why would it be in chunks like this? Unless it had been deposited here. I don't know. I mean, you could come up with any number of Watsonian explanations, like maybe these are all decorative. Maybe Alderaan has been settled long enough and has had tech of high enough level for long enough that they felt like artificially creating or adjusting their mountain ranges for the sake of aesthetics. Got some Organas in here. Gonna need to talk to him at some point. Disarming House Ulgo. Urgent. House Organa seeks aid. It is now clear that the despots of House Ulgo will not accept a peaceful resolution. House Ulgo has acquired a massive weapons stockpile from their underworld contacts. A renewed assault on our holdings appears inevitable. House Organa seeks loyal and talented agents willing to destroy the Ulgo weapons stockpile, so there's just the one of them, and bring Alderaan closer to peace. A reward is offered to any agent who is successful. For House Organa, so presumably this is taking place before the Ulgo leader is deposed. Although I suppose it's possible that the forces he commanded are holding on in his name. There is a lot of suggestion that Alderaan's family was that rich. Yeah, maybe it's leftovers from terraforming. But I'm not sure how much terraforming is actually a tech in Star Wars. Yeah, I'm not either. It's not really something that gets talked about. You would think it would be mentioned, like some megacorp would be a terraforming corporation, but it doesn't really come up. Corporations tend to do other things like biotech or weapons or starship engineering, but they don't do, that I have read, which is not extensively, they don't do terraforming. Couldn't happen to nicer guys. But in Star Wars, people can build massive structures larger than some natural moons, so maybe? I mean, yeah, now that you point it out, they've built the Death Star and other gigantic technological creations, so it should be possible. Like, they should have the technology to terraform. Like, maybe it's just that it takes so long that hardly anyone invests in it, because it does seem like quite a capitalist, and not just capitalist, but quick, instant gratification sort of a culture. Do you reckon you could stretch the definition of terraforming to include what the Death Star does? It's terraformed. It's, spread the planet all over. The planet is not, has been significantly changed, extensively changed. It's unrecognizable, as a planet. And eventually, the rock cloud will accrete back into a planet again, and it will probably be a very different sort of planet. Where was she? Well, in Rogue One, they has that lower power shot from the main weapon of the first Death Star. It only blew away a city. True. I suppose glassing the surface of a planet is kind of terraforming as well. I was going to say, oh, good. I'm glad we're not getting an escort quest, but turns out we are. Also, feel compelled to quote the 11th Doctor: 900 years of time and space, and I've never met anyone who wasn't important. But we'll bring him back safely, I imagine. Apparently you don't have any. Okay, so there's the junior Holler reporter, but where are the other two? There was a woman and a blonde dude. Why would they add them just for the cutscene? It's not like it's more difficult to add in NPCs that just stand around. They were doing more in the cutscene than he's doing now, and the others could be expected to be doing, and they did way more animation in the cutscene, and they already have the models because they were in the cutscene. I mean, maybe he got placed before the cutscene, and then they didn't want to bother with adding in more, I guess. I find it amusing that your companion will disappear when you mount up, but not any other NPCs that you happen to have following you. So this poor junior Holler reporter needs to run around after me. I'm on a jet speeder and he's just legging it. Okay, so... Oh, right. Dirt pile. Alright, let's fight our way through here to the next area. Was worthy foe. Apparently Kaizen believes these guys are worthy foes. I wouldn't dignify them with that. But they are worthy of defeat. Interesting. Oh, he's a patrol. Okay. I'll just wait for him to leave. Although, it's not that much more difficult to defeat Yeah, I'll leave. Oh wait, he's moving relatively quickly for an NPC patrol. So where is the thing that we... Ah, here we are. Is this it? Okay, that was what I needed to do. Bit weird that this will flash and then stop being... Oh, right, it's a crafting node. Is that a miniature winged camel? That critter by the dirt pile. The vicious flutterplumes are not winged camels. They're like four-legged birds. They're like vultures, but they've got 6 limbs, 2 wings, and 4 legs, and a long dangly tail that would look more appropriate on a bird of paradise or some other kind of display creature. Let's finish doing the Elgo stuff. I know it's 3 hours now, slightly past, but it's not that much, and I'm not fond of leaving quests. Well, I mean, I guess I could leave the quest half done because I don't know. I'm not fond of taking quests and then not doing them, and leaving a gap of several days between getting the request and the information and can't mount here, okay, and actually doing them. I mean, I've talked about this before, and I don't think that leaving a quest half done is very much better, because it still leaves like several days between when you got the information about the quest and the actual doing of the quest, so it's time for you to forget about your motivation and the details. So rather than just destroy for stockpiles, okay. So what are Elgo stockpiles then, eh? Ah, over there. Okay, apparently that's a weapon stockpile. It's a pretty empty warehouse area, isn't it? I mean, I guess that a lot of their weapon stockpiles are actually out in the field, I imagine. So maybe there were lots of things filling this. Wow, that was a big explosion. My character's lucky that it didn't hurt her. Maybe this place was absolutely full to the rafters, but once it all got distributed, it left the place looking like this. The body shape is similar to a camel, yeah, but bird with extra legs. Which is weird because everything else on this planet has had 4 limbs. Well, except the Killick, but they're insectoids and that. That's understandable. I mean, I suppose they could be an imported species, or the other species here that are 4-limbed mammals could be imported, like the manka cats and the nerfs and the whatever they are, hounds. But like, to me, it would be super, super weird for an endoskeletal, warm-blooded species with 6 limbs to evolve on a planet with an endoskeletal, warm-blooded creature with 4 limbs. Because, I mean, okay, we've only got Earth to draw from for examples, but the only creatures on Earth that have 6 limbs are insects. They are cold-blooded, exoskeletal creatures that diverged from mammals ages ago. Billions of years ago. Oh, this is respawned. That's convenient. There was a door over here. Maybe there'll be more stockpile through there. Don't know why they needed to approach along here before coming towards me. That's a bit weird. Because that's just an idiosyncrasy of the pathing that the game uses. Then you have the arthropods with more than 6 limbs, who seemingly have fully arbitrary limb counts. Yeah, like centipedes and well, spiders, or woodlice. Or shrimp. Whoops. Wow, that's quite a lot of range. Ooh, nice. Not sure what that was for. Oh hey, that's got a timer, and I don't know whether it will... Okay, so there isn't... Oh no, oh, there we are. I don't know whether that timer will run out whilst I'm logged out, so I should probably complete that quest at least. Oh, convenient. I'm not sure why showing a war photographer around the sites of war crimes would have a timer. I mean, maybe it's because they're covering up the crimes, and if you don't get there in time, they'll have removed all the evidence. Seems a bit arbitrary. I was hoping that they'd have lost interest, but apparently not. I haven't gone far enough. Annoying. Oh no, now I have. Goodo. Hope this is the right place anyway. What debuff that is? Burning. Okay, it is plasma fire. do I get him to do the thing? Or is it the red detainment cages up here? It's probably these, isn't it? Oh yeah, that's it, isn't it? And now I get him to the safe house. Jolly good. No more timer though, that's good. Oops. Definitely gonna need to fight these guys. Oh, that's a manka cat. Oh, that's the safe house. Alright. Well, I might as well log out here. Bit weird that they don't want him back here. But whatever. Right, I'm not going to run all the way back through and round and up. Just to hand that in. So I'll leave it for next time. Despite complaining before about not wanting to leave quests incomplete between streams. Oh well. It's kind of late and we're over time already. So, that's it for today. Thanks for sticking around. I'll be back on Friday, around about 8 PM, hopefully. Started late today, unintentionally. I was aiming for 8, but it ended up being 9. I will again aim for about 8, and between now and then I will be putting this up on my YouTube, Vanilla Jester Gaming. You can also find me on Twitter at Vanilla Jester, and I'll be posting on Twitter just before I go live. But yeah, I hope to see you again. I hope to see you on Friday, but if I don't, I hope to see you again. And until I do, I hope you have a nice time, and goodbye.